You ever walk into a room and forget why you walked in? Like your brain just said, let's make this mysterious. Or you open your notes, read one sentence, and immediately your mind goes, cool, we're done here. 5 minutes later, gone. Not a trace. Your brain's basically a magician. Now you see it, now you don't. But then you see Japanese students remembering entire textbooks, writing essays from memory, and you're still trying to remember what day it is. It's not that they're born smarter, they just figured out how memory actually works. Because the truth is, most of us don't have bad memories. We just use them wrong. And once you learn how to train it the way they do, you'll study less, remember more, and finally stop saying, bro, I literally just forgot. Here's the truth. Your brain doesn't actually like remembering things. It's lazy, in a save battery mode kind of way. See, your brain's job isn't to make you a genius, it's to keep you alive. That's why you easily remember where the snacks are, but not the mitochondria definition. Back in ancient times, remembering which berries kill you was useful. Remembering algebra? Not so much. So every time you study, your brain basically runs a test. Is this info life or death? If not, it hits delete. That's why cramming doesn't work. You can force info in, but if your brain doesn't care, it won't keep it. And this is where Japanese students do it differently. They trick their brains into caring. They connect emotion, repetition, and curiosity. So their brains go, wait, this might actually matter. That's how they turn studying from a chore into a mental upgrade. So, how do Japanese students remember everything without frying their brains? Simple. They study like scientists, not zombies. Here's what they do differently. First, they space it out. They don't study for 5 hours in one day and call it grind mode. They study for 30 minutes every day and let time do the heavy lifting. Because memory works like glue. Too much at once, it slides off. But layer it slowly, and it sticks forever. Second, they actively recall. They don't reread notes 20 times hoping it'll sink in. They close the book, look at the ceiling, and force their brain to remember what they just learned. That's like taking your brain to the gym. Every time you try to recall something, you're doing mental push-ups. Third, they make it emotional. Not like crying over math homework emotional, but meaningful. They link lessons to real life. If it matters, it sticks. Like, don't just memorize English words. Use them in memes, or argue with your friends using them. Boom. Memory unlocked. See, Japanese students don't study harder, they study smarter. And the good news? You can steal all their tricks. All right, let's make this practical, because watching this video won't make you smarter unless you actually do the thing. Here's your 3-step better daily memory routine. Tested, simple, and laziness-proof. Step 1. Learn less, recall more. When you study, stop flooding your brain. Take one small concept, then close your notes and try to explain it out loud. Even if you sound insane talking to your wall, congrats, your brain is learning. Explaining equals remembering. Step 2. Space your sessions. Study once today, review tomorrow, then again in 3 days, then in a week. This is called spaced repetition, also known as the cheat code of memory. It's like watering a plant, not drowning it once, but feeding it consistently. Step 3. Make it emotional. If something bores you, your brain marks it as delete later. So make it fun. Turn formulas into jokes. Link history to memes. Use flashcards like you're speed dating your brain. The more ridiculous you make it, the more you'll remember. And here's the wild part. This actually saves time. Because the less you forget, the less you need to relearn. That's how Japanese students study less, but remember more. Here's the thing. You don't have a bad memory. You just have bad habits. Your brain is basically a muscle with Wi-Fi. If you keep feeding it random content, TikToks, memes, and cat videos, don't be surprised when it forgets your actual goals. But train it right, and it'll start remembering everything that matters. Because memory isn't magic, it's maintenance. The same way you brush your teeth daily, you've got to brush your brain. Clean out the distractions, revisit the lessons, and flex those recall muscles like a nerdy gym rat. You don't need to study 10 hours a day. You just need to study right. And when you do, you'll start feeling like one of those anime characters who opens their textbook once and somehow aces the exam. So, next time you sit down to study, don't aim to read more. Aim to remember more. Because smart isn't about knowing everything. It's about remembering what matters. And if you're still here watching this, you're already part of that 10% of people who are actually trying to get smarter on purpose. So hit that subscribe button, legend, because here at Better Daily, we don't just learn stuff, we remember it. See you in the next one.